The last code. Avery stared at the shattered screen, knowing the stolen code-breaking machine could ignite a cyber war like the world had never seen before. The government's call came swiftly, pulling Avery from her quiet life into the heart of a digital storm she wasn't ready for. Kara's voice crackled over the secure line, revealing the urgency of finding the missing machine before it fell into the wrong hands. Avery's fingers flew across the keyboard, tracing the digital footprints left by the thieves who had infiltrated the government's most secure facility. Seth watched Avery from the shadows, knowing her every move could either save the world or push it closer to disaster. The deeper Avery dug, the more she realized that this wasn't just about a stolen machine, it was about power, control, and a code that could rewrite everything. The machine wasn't just capable of breaking codes, it could create them, codes that could shut down entire nations with a single command. Avery's heart raced as she uncovered an encrypted message buried deep within the government's own systems, a message meant for her eyes only. Raphael leaned back in his chair, watching the chaos unfold, his past grudges fueling his desire to see the government fall. Kara's warnings grew more frantic as the code's true purpose came to light, a weapon capable of unleashing untold destruction across the globe. The machine was more than just a tool, it was the key to a cyber weapon, one that could bring the world to its knees in seconds. Avery's mind raced as she tried to stay one step ahead of the hackers who seemed to anticipate her every move. In a darkened room, Seth decrypted the final layer of code, knowing that the world's fate hung in the balance. Avery's connection to the machine wasn't just professional, it was personal, a link that tied her to a past she had tried to forget. The more Avery uncovered, the more she realized that the government had secrets of its own, secrets that could change everything. Seth's loyalty was torn, he knew the machine's power, but he also knew that Avery was the only one who could stop it. The digital world became a battlefield, with Avery at the center, fighting not just for the machine, but for the truth. Raphael's plan was nearly complete, the final pieces falling into place as he prepared to launch his attack. Avery's mind was a whirlwind of codes, algorithms, and hidden meanings, each one bringing her closer to the truth. The machine's power wasn't just theoretical, it had already been tested, with devastating results. Kara's voice was calm, but Avery could hear the fear beneath it as the countdown to disaster began. Seth's betrayal was swift, leaving Avery reeling as she realized that she had trusted the wrong person. The machine's code was almost fully activated, and with it, the power to erase entire networks in seconds. Avery's breath caught in her throat as she realized the final code wasn't meant to destroy, it was meant to control. Raphael's voice echoed in her ears, taunting her as he revealed his true intentions for the machine. The final showdown began, with Avery racing against time to stop the activation of the cyber weapon. The lines between friend and foe blurred as Avery faced off against those she had once trusted. Seth's conscience finally caught up with him, but it was too late to undo the damage he had done. Kara's loyalty to the government was tested as she watched Avery struggle to prevent a global catastrophe. The machine's code was beautiful in its simplicity, yet terrifying in its potential for destruction. Raphael's plan began to unravel as Avery outmaneuvered him, using his own codes against him. The final layer of encryption fell away, revealing the true purpose of the machine, a purpose that shook Avery to her core. The weapon was more than just digital, it had the potential to change the physical world in ways no one had imagined. Avery's hands shook as she entered the final command, knowing that one mistake could doom everything. Raphael's last-ditch effort to seize control of the machine ended in failure as Avery locked him out for good. The machine's core hummed with energy, waiting for the final command that would decide the world's fate. Seth watched from the shadows, torn between his loyalty to Avery and his fear of what the machine could do. Kara's orders were clear: destroy the machine at all costs, even if it meant sacrificing everything. Avery hesitated, knowing that the machine held the key to both immense power and unimaginable destruction. The final countdown began, with Avery's hands poised over the keyboard, ready to make the ultimate choice. Raphael's final gambit was a desperate move, one that Avery countered with seconds to spare. The machine's power surged, the codes aligning in perfect harmony as Avery made her decision. The screen flashed, and for a moment, the world seemed to hang in the balance, waiting for the outcome. Avery's final command was swift, decisive, and left no room for error as she shut down the machine. The weapon's activation was halted, the digital codes fading into nothingness as the threat dissipated. Raphael's plans were in ruins, his carefully laid traps unraveling as Avery's victory became clear. The government facility was silent, the hum of the machine now a distant memory as the danger passed. Seth's betrayal left a scar, but Avery knew that the real threat had been neutralized, for now. Kara's relief was palpable, but Avery couldn't shake the feeling that something darker still lurked beneath the surface. The machine was locked away, its power too great to be used by any one person or government. Avery walked away from the facility, knowing that she had saved the world but at a great personal cost. Raphael disappeared into the shadows, his vendetta against the government unresolved but no longer an immediate threat. Seth's fate was unknown, his actions leaving him as much a ghost as the codes he had once manipulated. The world remained blissfully unaware of how close it had come to destruction, thanks to Avery's efforts. The machine's codes were erased, but Avery knew that the knowledge they contained could never truly be forgotten. Kara's gratitude was sincere, but Avery could see the fear in her eyes, fear of what the future might hold. Avery returned to her quiet life, but the shadows of her experience lingered, a constant reminder of what she had faced. The line between security and privacy blurred, leaving Avery to wonder if the real enemy was still out there. The last code was broken, but the implications of its power would echo through the digital world for years to come.